Good evening and welcome to another episode of Poets Unlimited, a platform where writers from all over the world come together to create something extraordinary. Tonight we have Rashid Mahmood, all the way from Pakistan. Now we know you're a professor, so let's address you as a professor. And I have been waiting for a very long time to get you on here. And I'm very, very honored to have you here with us tonight. Rashid, introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay, thank you very much, Alta. And first of all, I would like to thank you that you chose me and honored me by inviting me to attend your program. So I feel greatly honored. As far as my introduction is concerned, I am Rashid Mahmood and I'm working as assistant professor at Government Postgraduate College, Samundri. So my department is English. English literature is my passion, and I would say that English poetry is my religion. So religion in the sense that the poets are great humanitarians, and they can connect people from all around the world, from all around the religions. So society is their spectrum and humanitarianism is their religion. So they can connect people from all the classes, whether lower, middle or high class, whether they're black people or they're white people. So without any discrimination, they can connect. So this is my introduction that my students are also do also like me just because I have passion for poetry. In my local circumstances, I always connect my Punjabi and Urdu poetry to English poetry. So poetry don't have any language. So it can connect people from all the ethnicities. So that's so for now. My introduction.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. When did you start writing? How did this all come about? Why are you so passionate about literature, English literature, poetry? Why are you so passionate about it?
So well, actually, as I mentioned that I don't differentiate between any English poetry or Urdu poetry or Arabic poetry or Persian poetry. As human beings have got the same anatomy. Human beings have same cries, they have same passions, they have same desires, whether they live in the first world or they live in the third world. So poetry has no language, as humanitarianism cannot be enclosed in some ethnicity or any limitation. So poetry attracts me towards humanitarianism. So these are the dreams, these are the passions, and I love poetry and English poetry specifically because it has been a mode of connecting myself to the international community, just like you. Otherwise, in local languages, it wouldn't have been possible for me to connect with Alta H Mabin. That's it.
Yeah, we have been talking for a very, very long time, and I think what I appreciate about your writing is that it's so truthful. It allows the reader to connect with your soul, as well as to make them think about what you're writing, the message that you're bringing across. And you have been a part of Poets Unlimited for a few months now. And I think that, yes, and I think that if I had to skip one issue and not have you in, it would be like an empty issue, because your work is, it's something that someone can relate to. You know, you don't just sit down and write words, you think about them and then you write them. And your words touch people every single day. And I know that a few of your students are with me as well. and I adore their work, and I know that you are their mentor, and you have inspired them to write in English where that is not their first language. And that is, to me, that is phenomenal, because you have diversified it. You have empowered one person to say, I'm a writer. My work is published. Yes, maybe Poets Unlimited is not the biggest platform for them, but it's a start for them to start getting their confidence and understand that people need to read anybody's message, because my message could mean something to one person and maybe nothing to another person. Where somebody from Pakistan could write something and it would touch a life in a very different way. And I think you have inspired so many of your students. I know that you speak about them a lot, and I know that you put them forward a lot. And that is the reason why I have connected with you, because that's what it's all about for me, is to show young writers they have a platform, they have a voice, and their message is important. It's not a message to be kept into a diary for years and years and nobody reads it. It needs to be heard, it needs to be read. And I think you're doing a great job for literature and for poetry. You're helping us keep poetry alive. I would like to start off with reading one of your poems, if I may.
It's my honor, my honor.
Okay, so this one is called Suppose It Be. Suppose it be disgrace, would not I have face to be to the lost honor trace. Suppose it be disgrace. This is matter of thought. No loss or benefit I got. People do think it base. Suppose it be disgrace. After his own lust is each, nothing beyond him to teach. Besides self is no case. Suppose it be disgrace. Will every one prefer end to fragrance, flower, not bend? So blind in mad race. Suppose it be disgrace. Sweet smelling breezes dear to blessing autumn, so fair. In autumn spring has place. Suppose it be disgrace. I love how your words resonate. It touches a person immediately. From the first stanza, you bring the reader to your way of thinking. I'm used to different styles of poetry, and I have read many submissions, and I know that there's a lot of time where there's a time constraint or a connection constraint, but every single month you show up and you show, and you allow the reader to see the message from you, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. Alta, I would like to add something, that since my childhood I got a poetic atmosphere at home. My uncle Bashir Hamid, he was very renowned Urdu poet. One of his friends, Mr. Naz Khyalvi, he was the world famous Urdu poet of my city, Tandlewala. And among my colleagues here in Samandri College, Professor Usman Ali Beg, he has been a tremendous writer of Punjabi, Urdu and English at the same time. He's also been a member of your group. And not many, actually, you know, I think better than I, that main problem of man is his inner self is not connected with the outer self. So there is no harmony. and the poet is always troubled. How can he harmonize the internal to the outer?
Yeah.
So that's my problem, and that's my player, and the anxiety how to create harmony within and without. So, if you allow me, I would have great pleasure in reading out one poem.
Absolutely, please do.
Okay, thank you. So, the title of the poem, Oh for the World of Fact. Oh for the world of fact. Oh for the world of truth, the world of fact, the scene of glory that is exact. Nature gives beauteous white, man pollute with false kite. Cunning and crafty tact, evil spread, devilish act. Verse becomes the scene well. In holy dress comes rascal. In his magic people snare. This you see everywhere. This is that, and that is this. Offer money, you have bliss. That is, and the same message that there is anxiety, there is ironical difference between our sayings and our performances. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I think also the important message here is to allow yourself to write, no matter what your message is. You have to write it down, and you have to allow people to interpret it the way they do when they read your words. And I think you have gotten a platform all around the world, not just through the magazine, but through many platforms. I've seen some of your YouTube videos that you've done, and you promote poetry all the time. And I think what struck with me a lot is the fact that you have been consistent in allowing people to feed their soul from your words. If I have to be asked, give me one reason why you read Professor Rashid Mahmood, I would say because his words feed my soul. And you can take that quote. You can take that quote because that's how I feel. It is, for me, it's an honor to be able to say somebody 1,000 miles away has touched my soul with a few words. And I think many people can relate to that. If you have to give advice to young writers, what would your advice be? In a few lines, what would your advice be?
Actually, my advice is to the youngsters, my students, has always been to make their own dreams. Their dreams must be their original. They should not follow the footsteps of the others. They must dream, they must imagine, they must visualize. And after that, they must script their own dreams, script their own imaginations. Don't into others' shoes. Make your own shoes. Make your own way. You must be original. You must be exclusive. So that's my message. That man is the greatest miracle of nature, and he must carve out his own original, because there are many things more precious than the diamonds that lies within him. But he, most of the time, man has become forgetful of his great treasure that he is always carrying with himself, and is hankering after other treasures. But he himself is the. So they must realize their own worth. They are original. They have great matter. They will become salt to the earth if they depend upon themselves, if they trust themselves. That's my message.
Thank you. It's a beautiful message because I think as a writer, we connect to words, we connect to feelings, emotions, and if we read something and we're not connecting with it, we're not going to read it again. But if you're reading something and you're connecting with it, it takes you on a journey within yourself of that message, and that's what's important. I thank you so very much for allowing us to have a little chat with you. I know you're very busy, and I know that it's very late in Pakistan at the moment.
I'm interrupting you a little, and I would also like to thank Mr. Shahid Abbas. He has been my student, and he has, prior to me, he was a member of your Poetess Unlimited group, and he introduced me to you.
I know.
So I would like to thank him. Along with thanking Alta H Mabin, I would like to thank Shahid Abbas. Thank you very much.
Well, in that same breath, I would like to thank you for Shamsa, because you will see it in next month. She has now, I have been teaching her haiku. So nobody knows. She's put out one little haiku, and I've been teaching her. And she is such a beautiful person. And you sent her to me. So I thank you for that. She is, I think she has so much potential to become a voice of her own. She has so much intellectual conversation with her soul, and she brings it into her writing. And you have been her mentor.
Under your potential guidance, she is already encouraged. She has become greatly more confident.
And that's all we want. We want the youngsters of today to just go up, and just when we too old to write, we want them to write about the things we taught them how to write, to be themselves. And I think that's what we leave behind. That's what we leave behind for them.
She has to progress, and she will.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, I'm going to end off the session with you. And I want to say thank you very much for your time. And I love having you in Poets Unlimited.
Thank you very much, and it has been a great honor to me, and I'm humbled by the patronization that you gave. Great. God bless you. And I will be with you in your great mission of patronizing literature all around the world. And I will myself be with you along with that. I will also show you some hidden diamonds here in Pakistan.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Thank you so much.